Hey, I saw you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're doing a fun video today, kind of a will I buy it / wish list video. As my full month of nothing new draws to a close, I came up with a list of things that I have on my radar. Now, I'm certainly not planning to buy all of these things. The whole idea for me of a will I buy it is not to come out on the end with a mass binge of a bunch of makeup products and spending too much money on makeup that I don't need. Rather to kind of temper things a little bit and prioritize what I actually want to try out, what I want to spend my money on. So I've come up with a list of products. Most of them are newer, some of them are a little bit older, and I wanted to go through it with you guys today. I would love your feedback for this. I'd love to know what you guys are interested in seeing me try, because I am very indecisive and all the things on my list I am interested in. Before we get into the list, a special welcome to any new visitors to my channel. Hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, be sure to subscribe and make sure that you have your notifications turned on. With that said, let's get into my somewhat extensive wish list. All right, we're gonna start off with concealers. There are two concealers that have come out. One of them is very recent. I actually went through the Trend Mood feed this morning, which I realized I haven't even gone through since before Christmas time. And there was something kind of refreshing about that, not being tempted by all this new makeup. But I went through it this morning and found a couple of things that caught my attention, and one of them is a new concealer from The Ordinary. Now, this I think just came out for sale on the 18th, so a couple of days ago when I'm filming this. And get this, you guys, it is under $6. The Ordinary is kind of known for their really affordable price point. I didn't even read much into what this concealer is supposed to do. I don't think I've heard anything about it yet. I imagine that I'll start seeing some videos here pretty soon of people trying this one out. It did seem like there was a lot of interest in this, a lot of likes on this post, but I'm curious to try it simply for the fact that it is so affordable. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing me try this one. But I do have another concealer that has a little bit more of a pull for me. It is more expensive though, and it's the Sauce concealer. Now this one I know has been out for a little while. I want to say it came out in the fall or early winter, and I've been hearing some really good things about this one. I do love Sauce. They're a brand that I don't have much from at all, but they really have my attention. They're a brand that I kind of would like to expand and try out a couple more of their products this year. So this might be a good starting place from them. This concealer is $28. I'm a little uncertain what my shade would be. It probably would be wise for me to go into Sephora and at least look at some of the shades that they offer. But man, I do not like going to Sephora these days, you guys. Wearing the masks and not being able to swatch things, it's not the same experience as it used to be. So I might just try to find my correct shade online, across my fingers, and hope that it matches. But if you guys have tried out this concealer, let me know what your thoughts are on it, especially if you kind of know the concealers that I like. I love the Revlon Candid, you guys probably know. Love the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting. I love the CoverGirl concealer. I like the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. And I don't like the Tarte Shape Tape. It's a little bit too heavy for me. So knowing those things, if you guys feel like you could give me some feedback on whether or not this might be a good option for me, please let me know down below. Let's talk about some eyeshadow palettes. There are quite a few on my wish list. First off, let's just get out of the way ColourPop. Now, I'm kind of annoyed that I'm even interested in ColourPop palette because they are the brand that got me into trouble last year, and I don't know why they draw me back in every single time. I mean, literally every 3 days that they come out with a new palette release. I tell myself I'm not going to be interested in it, but somehow I almost always am. And they've come out with a lot of them since Christmas time. They did come out with the Love Struck palettes. Those were the 5-pan palettes that they came out with. Ironically, I don't really feel very interested in these ones, which is kind of funny because I am so in love with the Natasha Denona mini palettes right now, which are little 5-pan palettes, and I love the 5-pan setup. I think it's a really nice, simple color range that's not too overwhelming. But right now, these ones don't really have my attention. Let me know if you guys think I should reconsider. But the ones from ColourPop that do have my attention are, first off, the ColourPop Wild Child palette. This palette, the colors inside, I am quite certain that I have these, but what really draws me into this palette is the packaging. This to me is one of their cutest looking packages that I've seen in a while. And I know that's not a big deal to some people, but it really does work for me from ColourPop. Their cute packages are usually the ones that I end up picking up even more than the colors inside their palettes, which is really, really ridiculous. I'm just a sucker for really adorable cover art when it comes to eyeshadow palettes especially. So the palette is only $12, which is a great price point. I'll probably wait till they have a sale for this one. If I do end up picking it up, honestly, I don't really feel like I need this one. I mean, there's a lot of browns in this palette. I have plenty of browns, and there's not a lot of light shades in here, which I always love at least one lighter shade in a brown toned palette. So I have a feeling I would end up feeling the same way about this one as I do about the Natasha Denona bronze palette. I like it, but I find myself needing to reach for something else, and I certainly probably don't need this one, but man, you guys, that giraffe packaging I just think is the cutest thing. I'm also considering the Off Melrose palette. This one looks a little bit more muted, but this looks really, really pretty. I love the kind of pink tone bronzes in this one. There's plenty of browns in here, and you do get some lighter shades. This looks like a very me palette. I think the packaging on this one is really cute as well. I've seen some people use this one recently, and I do think it looks really nice. Now, again, I don't think I need this palette. It is a little bit more expensive. It is $18, so I probably would again wait for a sale before I pick this one up. But that's kind of the trouble with me and ColourPop, especially trying out ColourPop palettes and also using them as an opportunity to talk about them on my channel or review them for you guys, because usually by the time I wait for a sale or just wait till my next round of ColourPop purchases, ColourPop releases makeup so quickly that usually by that time, if it's been maybe a month since other people have reviewed it, nobody seems to be interested in it anymore. So that's kind of the tricky thing with ColourPop. As much as I love their palettes, they release stuff so quickly that really, unless you're on their PR list and you're able to jump in and review their products right away, I don't think it's super helpful for you guys or other consumers, and I certainly don't need to buy these palettes for myself because I need them. I don't know if that's making sense. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but my point is this: let me know if either of these palettes are ones that you guys are really interested in and you guys would like to see me try. But before you make that choice, there are a couple more that have caught my attention, and one of them is from Juvia's Place. So I mentioned in my eyeshadow video that I did recently that I did not buy a lot of new Juvia's Place releases last year. I know they didn't have a ton of releases last year. At one point before Christmas, I just about went and got several of their mini palettes, but by the time I got in to purchase them, they were already sold out, at least of the ones that I was the most interested in, so I held off on those. But they've come out with another smaller palette recently, and it's the Juvia's Place and Vanessa palette. This is in collaboration with, actually I'm not even going to try to say her last name, it's Vanessa Giamma. That's probably wrong. This palette does look really, really pretty. I'm gonna insert for you guys a picture of it right here. I'll try and insert the picture of the swatches for you guys. This looks like a really great color story. It has a good basic brown. I love that Juvia's Place almost always puts a really good, super deep brown in their palettes. But there's also some pretty shimmers in here, some more colorful shades. For a small palette, I feel like this would be a really fun one. It is $15, and I'm very curious to see what these smaller palettes look like in person, because again, I've never tried one of their smaller palettes, but I wonder how small the pan sizes in them are. This one is looking pretty nice to me, pretty high on my list. Let me know if any of you guys have an interest in seeing it, if you guys have picked it up yourselves. I definitely am considering this one pretty seriously. But there is one more palette that I'm considering, and that is the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. I think it's kind of funny that this one has my attention, because you guys probably know I have the original Natasha Denona Love palette, and it's not my favorite palette from her. There are a lot of shades inside that palette that I really love, but I almost always like to reach for something else that has a couple of basic neutrals in there, like a basic deep brown or a basic kind of tan or taupe transition shade. The palette as a whole for an eye look is just a little bit too bold for my liking, but for some reason this mini palette is looking right up my alley. Now, there are a couple pinks in the mini palette. I'm not wild about pinks. Like, I'm very picky when it comes to pink eyeshadow. I like light pinks or champagne pinks, but I'm not usually fond of like a mid-tone bold pink. At least on me, it's not a color that I wear very often. But even having said that, with the exception of the kind of more bubblegum sort of pink that's over on the right side, I'll put the picture for you guys right here. The other four shades in this palette look so beautiful and very, very me. I love kind of the purpley taupe pink tone shimmer in here. It looks so pretty. The lighter champagne pink and the two matte shades look gorgeous. Now, I've seen a couple people use this recently. I'll probably go and watch a couple more videos before I decide whether or not this is the next mini palette that I want to pick up, because they do have a couple other mini palettes that I'm interested in as well, some older ones. So I'm going to do a little bit of thinking, a little bit of research on this one, but if you guys want to see it, let me know, because I am considering it. But interestingly enough, when I went in to look at this palette, I did see that they also released a nude lipstick with this collection they came out with, the Valentine's collection or the Love collection. I've never tried a Natasha Denona lipstick. I'm not one that's often drawn into a nude lipstick, especially a high-end nude lipstick, but this shade of lipstick, you guys, looks really, really pretty. It is $25 as well. The mini palette is also $25. I don't think I mentioned that, but I've been staring at these swatches for the last 2 days and I think they look gorgeous. They have it swatched on 3 different people. It's always hard to say, especially in Natasha Denona's swatches. I would say the same thing about Huda Beauty's swatches as well, but the swatches and the pictures of the models that they show on their marketing materials always look so perfect that I have my doubts how realistic they are. We'll see. $25, I mean, that's not outrageous. It's not $37 like a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick would be, but I'm kind of interested in this one, which really surprises me. I do want to mention one more eyeshadow palette that I have a minor interest in. Now, I doubt that I'll be able to take the plunge for this one because it is super, super pricey, especially for the value. It's from Charlotte Tilbury. It's one of her newer eyeshadow quads. I think they're called her Hollywood Eye Filter palettes. These look really pretty as well. I've had a long interest in trying out a Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow, mainly because I want to know for myself if they are good. Now, I have my doubts that they would be worth the $53. I mean, I feel like $65 for a larger Natasha Denona palette is super expensive. $53 for 4 average shades of eyeshadow I think is ridiculous. But I would love to be able to tell you guys, don't do it. It's not worth the money. But I'm also kind of wondering if there's something magical about her eyeshadow palettes. So far, everything I've tried out from Charlotte Tilbury has been a major win. So I kind of want to try these just to know if they're as good as her other products, because I have my doubts that they could possibly be. I don't know, you guys. For that price, I feel like they would have to put themselves on my eyes without me having to lift a finger. But it seems like every time I see one of her palettes in Trend Moods feed, I always am kind of curious. Okay, let's move on to a couple of non-eyeshadow products. A quick one is a mascara. So I am in the process, I actually haven't done it yet, but it's been on my to-do list of going through my mascara drawer, which is the bottom drawer back here. All of my mascaras are in there, and I would be willing to bet that 50% of those mascaras need to be thrown out. I know that many of them are over 6 months old, have been opened and used, and need to be tossed. So, because I have so many that I need to get rid of, and I do have just a couple that are open right now that I am kind of working my way through, I'm thinking about trying a new drugstore mascara, and there's 3 that I've had on my radar for a while, so I thought I would mention them for you guys, and maybe you guys can help me decide which one. First one is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. This mascara has been out for quite a while. I have still not tried it yet. I also am interested in trying the L'Oreal Bambi mascara, another one that I've been interested in and haven't tried. And then the NYX mascara that has the pink tube. I think it's called like High Rise. I can't remember the name of this one, but that one's another one that sort of has my attention, has my interest. So if you guys have tried out any of those mascaras, if you have strong feelings about one over the other, please let me know, because I am hoping to do that within the next couple of weeks. Sticking with drugstore makeup, there are a couple newer things out from Milani that I have had my eye on. They did just come out with I think it's like a CC cream or a BB cream. It's called their Glow Skin Tint. I've heard a couple people talk about this, and it's something I might be interested in trying. It's only like $11, which I don't think is too bad for a drugstore base product. I do love the Milani Conceal and Perfect. You guys might know that's one of my favorite foundations. So mainly for that reason, and because I just like the brand Milani, I think they do a really good job across the board with their makeup products. Also from Milani, I'm very interested to try out their cream blushes. I've been hearing a lot of good things about these for the last several months. I've been looking for them in my local drugstore. We kind of live away from the big city, and I feel like our drugstores in the area that I live, they're not very quick in getting new makeup, so I might need to make a special trip in somewhere to try and find these cream blushes, or I could probably order them online. That would probably be easier, but I'm very interested to try these out because I've heard a lot of great things, and you guys know there's one thing I'm almost guaranteed to love. It's a cream blush. And speaking of cream blushes, I am very interested in also trying out the Rare Beauty cream blushes that recently came out. How recent these came out, I'm not even quite sure. I know Rare Beauty also has a liquid blush that I put on my wish list. They were actually a brand that I featured in my brands I'd like to try in the year 2021. And now that they have a cream blush as well, I thought it might be a good idea for me to pick up one of their liquid blushes, one of their cream blushes, and then kind of compare and see which one I like better. I feel like Rare Beauty is getting mentioned a lot. A lot of people seem to like a lot of their products. So they're catching my attention more and more, and now that they have 2 forms of blush that I really love, I feel like it makes the perfect opportunity for me to try them out. But that is it, you guys. That is everything I have on my wish list for now. As I mentioned before, I would love your help in helping me to narrow things down. I definitely cannot buy all of these things. I definitely cannot even buy half of these things. I'd like to just buy a couple. So let me know what you guys are most interested in seeing. And hopefully I'll be back soon in the month of February with some trying new makeup videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for any feedback you give. Thank you for watching today. Hope that you guys are doing well. I want to give you one more reminder. If you have not yet subscribed, please be sure to do that before you leave. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this full month of nothing new. I hope that you guys had fun. We do have one more video coming up very soon, so keep an eye out for that one. But that's it for today. Thank you guys again. I will see you in my next video. Bye. You might be seeing my hair straight for a while. Watched a 2-minute YouTube video on how to give yourself a layered haircut and butchered it. And I'm having issues with my curls right now because I cut too much hair off. Where could she be? Where's Julie? I don't see her anywhere. Oh, there she is. There, she's gone. Oh, now she's... Sorry, Charlie's playing with the chain. Of all things, where does she find a giant chain? It's because we're in the basement. You can find just about anything down here. Tape. Batman ball. Clamp. Children's scissors. You never know what you're gonna find down here.